Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, man. I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. I got an interview for y'all. I got a JIT camp interview for y'all. Go ahead and introduce yourself, bro.
I go by Tano, Diga de Tano. In JIT camp, they call me shoulder pad because they got big shoulders and shit, you feel me?
And how much time did you do inside of the Florida Department of Corrections?
DOC, basically, if you want to call it like a year and a day, you feel me? They had gave me a year and a half. I believe is 18 months. Year and a half is like 18 months or something like that. But I was seeing it kind of for a little bit. Here in Osceola County is where I'm from. I was in the Osceola County for like maybe like 5-6 months. And by the time I went up the road, I only ended up doing like a year.
Okay. And what charges sent you to prison?
Robbery and aggravated battery. It was like 2012. I was like 18 and shit. Just the night, trying to run it up, trying to take anybody up through there I seen. And shit, the nigga I was creaming up on, it was like at an ATM type shit, you feel me? When I would run up on the dude and everything, he give everything up, do what he supposed to do in the robbery and whatnot, but the nigga tried to grab it, like on some action movie hero type shit. Nigga tried to grab the fire and everything like that. And once he did that, I pulled back, cause I ain't gonna lie to you, a nigga had a BB gun. Cause my whole thing was, if I do a BB gun, the cracker can't give me the whole thing and whatnot. So, I ride a nigga with a fucking BB gun, bitch. So he grabbed it, and once I knew this nigga grabbed it, bitch, I knew he was gonna do it went fire type shit. You feel me? So once I tried to pull back and run, this nigga pull up, and he had like a truck or SUV, some shit, I don't remember. He pull up and he turn around and start driving after me. The nigga trying to hit me in his truck, run me over, all types of shit. So I'm in the middle of it's like a big open field behind the ATM. It was like Bank of America. It was like a big open field and whatnot. So I'm just running back there trying to run away from this nigga. Trying to run my ass over, all types of crazy shit, nigga. He just ended up getting out the car. He just started running after me, taking off at me. I couldn't get so far because by this time, I'm running away from the truck for about like 3 minutes. And he still couldn't get me. So he got whipped, started chasing after me. And by the time he ran up on him, I'm start hitting him with the BB gun. And I'm like whacking his, like firing the ass up, bitch. And we start tussling on the ground and all types of shit and everything. And basically, the nigga held me off until security had came in the neighborhood I was in, or just the area or whatnot. And once security had came, they had apprehended me and waited till the cracker showed up.
Now, what was this your first time getting arrested, or did you have any experience inside of like DJJ and the programs and stuff like that?
Yeah, this was my first adult charge. I had been to the program and caught a couple of juvenile charges, but this is my first charge as an adult. But I was 18 at the time.
And how was the difference for you with county jail versus juvie? Like, was county an easy ride, or was it on some next level shit?
Typical jitterbug shit. In the program, first thing they're trying to do is trying to see what type of time you on. Jit rocking, jit you soft, you pussy, anything like that, you got a bump. They're trying to extort shit. Every little thing. We got to get in trouble for it. One nigga get in trouble for it, everybody got to get in trouble for it. Like basically jit camp, but a little softer type shit.
Yeah.
And county jail. Everybody on their grown man shit. They ain't on that fighting and whatnot. A nigga fight is either about money or about respect. You feel me? That was really the difference, the maturity level. Shit, I remember the first day I was in county, I'm at the door thinking they finna give a nigga snacks and all types of shit. And nigga look behind me, Jit, what you standing at the door for? I was like, we ain't getting no snack time. I said, hell no, this ain't no
Yeah, because the juvies and all that, we be getting souped up with mad shit. We don't realize how it is until we go to adult. They don't give you none of that.
Yeah, your ass dead. Ain't none of that, boy.
Now, at what point in time, whether it was juvie or county, did you start hearing about the Florida prison JIT camps? And did you have any type of forewarning before you actually went to prison?
Yeah. Same shit. Told me the stories, told me this, that, and the third, whoop the whoop. Nigga really tried to scare me with the whole booty bandit shit on the adult side and whatnot. But definitely for the jits, especially before I had went to prison, because the robbery that I had told you about, what they ended up giving me was 3 years probation. At first, B-Crack was trying to give me 15 off rip. Like BB gun or not, they're trying to give me the whole thing like it was 5. Like shit, you feel me? Because at first it was robbery with a firearm. Then they dropped it down to robbery with aggravated battery type shit. And they were still trying to give me 15 years, but glory to God, bro, they spared me. They only gave me 3 years probation. And what ended up happening was I violated that probation, which sent me to prison.
Okay.
I had about like a year left for probation, and I had caught a new charge. You know, I was on probation, still out there running wild and shit. You feel me? So I ended up catching a new charge, and they just sent me to prison. So when I was in county, on my way to prison, I hear the stories about, hey man, how old you in JIT? Oh, you on such stuff? Man, yo ass going to JIT camp. Man, yo ass better know how to fight. What did that third and all that shit? You better get your hand right, cause when you get there, they gonna get your hands right. So they were basically telling me like, hey man, be on point when you go there, cause them JITs ain't got no mind.
Yeah. Now your first reception center was CFIC, right?
Right.
How was that for you? Because I know for us in Hillsborough County, they come get us in like the middle of the night in county, shackle us up, put us on the bus. Take us through the whole experience of going to prison.
Chain gang, a whole different ball game, bro. And you know that. Everybody who don't know, now you know. Chain gang, a whole different ball game, man. They came and got us early as hell in the morning, like we was going to court or some shit like that. But everybody got that gloomy feeling and whatnot. Like, damn, they already know what time it is. They knock on people's door in the middle of the night. Hey, bro, they finna send me up the road, man. I'm gone. He said, all right, bro, keep your head up. That, that, third, and all that shit. So, you know, you already got that feeling of gloom because you know what time it is. So, you know, when you first pull up to CFRC, you know, it's still late as fuck, dark outside and whatnot. And, you know, niggas getting off the bus. Man, all fret, them crackers on your ass, man. Hey, look, we are now in CFRC and DOC. You gonna do what the fuck I tell you and all this pussy ass shit. All fret, you know, you gotta take off your clothes and strip butt naked and all types of shit. You know, they breaking it down as soon as you get in that bit. You walking around in your boxes the whole goddamn time. You trying to do this and be on point because you don't want crack all in your ear and everything, and they just being disrespectful, talking crazy to you the whole time. I'm just sitting there waiting. I already figured I was going on the JIT side because when they sentenced me, I love my mama, but she kind of the reason why I went to JIT camp. She was at my court hearing, and she basically told, oh, can you send him somewhere where he'll be around other kids his age and, you know, where you can learn something, not knowing you setting me up for hell.
Bro, I swear to God, people be thinking that the youth offenders is like, oh, he won't be around any life sentences, it won't be bad, and the youth offenders is worse than the adults.
That shit works, but you feel me? So I'm just sitting in the room with everybody in their boxes and all that shit. They call me up, hey, JIT, come here. Whatever. He asked me, like, you feel comfortable around your age, you grown, you mature and all that shit and whatnot? And I told him, yeah. But on my sheet, it said that I was supposed to be on that side of, I don't remember what exactly, but he sure enough gave me that red hat. So you knew what time it was. So, you know, intake was really where I had that feeling of like, damn, like shit real, bro. Especially when they set me in that chair. Man, I had like little plaits and all that shit. I ain't jet my shit up, but I had like, you know, I had some hang time. Man, straight zero. All that shit gone. I see niggas coming up with dreads down to here. Straight zero. So, you know, niggas sitting there bald headed, looking crazy and everything, just sitting like, damn, man, shit really here. So, you know, the first day was definitely rough, but, you know, when I got to H dorm, Because before I even got the H-Storm, you got to remember that extended day creep. Well, I know that shit like the back of my hand now. That shit like the back of my hand. You know, I made sure that I remember that extended day creep. Because when I got the H-Storm, boy, you know your extended day creep, say it out. I got my shit on point the first time. I think maybe I fucked up. Maybe had to do like a couple push-ups and whatnot. The niggas I came in with weren't so lucky. Watch your thoughts to become your actions. Nope. Push-up position, down, up, down, up. Everybody else had to do push-ups. I was straight.
Yep.
Yeah, so as far as that, you know, my first day there, I'm going in my cell, you know, trying to see which cell it is. Off rip, niggas coming, hey, where you from, man? You from Orlando? What you got in the tag? You know, oh, he got an X. Oh, he asked me, he from Orlando. Who you rocking with? You gangbanging? Then on the third and whatnot. Already in my ass, bro. But at that time, it wasn't really as off the chain as it was like the prior month, because it was around that time that the nigga at Lancaster had got killed because of that TOH. Yeah. So you know, the whole YO thing was really in hot water. The COs and all that shit, you know, a lot of the fighting, niggas still had the grid, don't get it fucked up. But it wasn't as off the chain as how I heard it was, type shit. Yeah. But you know, niggas still had the grid and whatnot. I ended up having to grid some niggas from Tampa and whatnot because they were trying to extort shit. Really, because my dog that I was in there with, he was going through it with them. So, you know, that's my dogs, you know, I'm from the rock out too. Shit, I had took a fade for him one time because a nigga from a popper, he was my home team. Him and bruh had got into it. But my dog, he was already in that bitch bumping too. So, you know, his knuckles was kind of fucked up. So he was telling, hey, Tano, bro, you might take that fade from me, man. Just go in and get in the grid for me. You know, you straight. He really ain't want me to, but you know, I'm a man of my word. One thing about me, I say what I mean what I say. So I told him, hey, look, I'm gonna get in the grid for you, whatnot. You know, we gonna handle up. So I got in that bitch, nigga about 6'2". You feel me? And you know, I still got in that bitch. I ain't for a lie, nigga beat my ass. You know, he only got so much. No, I only got so much range type shit. You feel me? So every time I'm trying to swing on bruh and all types of shit, you know, I ain't really reaching in. Every hit he tried to do on me, I'm just eating them shits. I can't even get up to do because, you know, the cells that's the thing about fighting in the cells I hate. Yeah. It be so narrow and you only got so much space. So whenever you grid in that bitch, you can only, it's really like on some duking out type shit. You can't even.
Yeah, you got to just get right in there.
You know what I mean? You can only do so much. And like I said, nigga 6'2", so I'm trying to reach up to the nigga and doom, like I'm eating my shit. I'm trying to doom and all types of shit, but nigga can only do so much. So I had to take that L and whatnot. What ended up happening was I had like my eye was fucked up. Like I had a black eye and everything. And I ended up going to investigation for that. Not because I had told or whatnot, but because they thought the crackers had did that to me.
Oh, okay.
So they had ended up putting me in investigation because
let me clarify real quick too for everyone that's watching, especially at CFIC. That's a very common thing. If you have any type of facial marks, any type of like black eyes, busted lips, you can go under investigation. And what they'll normally do is they'll line everyone up, make everyone put their hands out. And if anybody has any marks on their knuckles, they get put under investigation too, or they can be hit with a DI. So that's common versus at, you know, Lancaster, they expect you to get flipped. They're not really as worried about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, go ahead and continue.
Yeah, they had ended up putting me in investigation, basically trying to get me to say what was going on. But I told them, hey, look, man, I was out there in the field. We was playing football. And something hit my face or some crazy shit, you know, typical shit. And they wasn't going for it. So I had ended up staying in the box, basically doing box time until I went to the castle.
Okay.
Type shit. But before the castle, I've had about like 3 grids. Like I said, niggas from Tampa and whatnot, trying to extort shit, but I wasn't going for it. I got in that motherfucker. Bro.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Now, how was the transition from, because when you get to CFIC, like once you've been in there like a good week, you get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? You know how to march around, and you start feeling like, okay, I'm getting adjusted to it. And then you go to your first prison and you're like, oh, no, I'm not adjusted at all. How was that transition going to Lancaster?
If I could say, shit got a little bit more realer. Before I went to the castle, I went to Lake Butler. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I was still in the box for investigation and whatnot. So that 2 little weeks, I think it'll be a week or 2 that you be at Lake Butler before you go to the castle or whatnot. I was in the box. I don't know what it is, but that box at Lake Butler, boy, that shit is like dungeon, nigga.
That's like, the worst confinement I've ever been in.
On my mama, bro. That shit like a dungeon, bro. And whatever happened to you, bro, they gonna leave you for dead back there, bro.
Yep.
I don't seen a nigga on the adult side. He was sick, or he was disabled. He was handicapped, and the nigga needed help. I forgot he trying to call out to the cracker, and the cracker ain't coming till like a whole hour later. Yeah. And then when he finally did come, he didn't want to help the man up. Like the man laying on the floor, and he trying to help the man up and get up and all that shit. You feel me? And he acting like a fuck nigga, like he ain't want to help the man up. He over there trying to get the trustee to do it and everything, and everybody yelling out their door, hey man, cracker, you green as fuck, man, fuck you, cracker. Talking crazy and all that shit. So just being in the box and then seeing like little rats and shit and everything at nighttime, man, that shit wild, bro. Yeah. By the time I got to the castle and whatnot, I went in orientation doing, but even before that, when you get off that motherfucking bus, they're already on your head. You say, hey, I see any one of y'all motherfuckers lift your fucking head up, I'm gonna slap the shit out of you. Yep. Nobody ain't do it because they knew what time it was. But getting off that bus, they on your ass already.
Now, how soon was it that you started seeing officers putting hands on inmates? Or was it more calmed down because that death had just took place?
Yeah, I want to say it was more calmed down. They had definitely brought it up while I was in orientation, like, hey, y'all gotta do what y'all gotta do and all this bullshit TOH, but we just had a death here, so we were not playing about anything. If we catch you with any type of fire, any type of a weapon or anything like that, you going to the box or you getting new charges fired on you. They was talking crazy. They was talking about giving niggas new charges and everything like that. So, a lot of shit niggas was spooked about. But yeah. We still did our thing. We still went to war. We still crashed out, all that crazy shit like that.
What dorm did you go into first when you hit the pound?
Well, when you first go there, you in orientation dorm for like 2 weeks or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Was orientation still in A dorm?
Nah, they had actually moved orientation to M dorm.
Okay.
Yeah, they had moved orientation from A dorm, like how you said, to M dorm and whatnot. And I was in there for like 2 weeks and whatnot. When I was in there, at first a nigga was trying to rock out with home team X-Men, home team, strong team, whatever the fuck. And but I kind of peeped how they was creep. And for people who don't know, that's X-Men. You got an X in your tag, you rocking out with X-Men. At the time, they was X-rated, so we was tied with Arnett and whatnot. And just like the whole vibe, they just was on some like fuck nigga shit and whatnot. And I had caught a V for that ass. I had got 3 TOHs, bro. And it's like, I ain't get the love I had, like, being around Chicos, my other like Hispanic brothers and whatnot. So when I ended up going to Pound, they had sent me to B dorm. And when I got to B dorm, man, I'm rocking out with my Chicos, bro.
And how was, you know, your TOH experience? Were they using fire at that time, or was it more or less just getting jumped?
Yeah, they had poked me up. They had jumped me. Nigga had choked me out. You know, I ain't never big choked out, but so that was definitely an experience I'll never forget. One of my TOHs was by like 2 7s and the X-Men, one of my brothers at the time. So you know, typical TOH, nigga jumping me and all that shit, and you know, I'm still fighting though. See, that's the thing about TOHs. A lot of niggas don't know. Don't let them beat your ass, motherfucker. Fight. The fuck? Beating your ass, the fuck you just gonna stand there? I don't give a fuck if it's 10 of them, nigga. I'ma try my hardest to fight, scratch, bite. I don't give a fuck, cause nigga, they ain't finna let up, so I'm not finna let up. The fuck?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Exactly. So you know, a nigga still fought. So you know, it wasn't completely me getting my ass, but at the same time, they had a nigga type shit. So my brother, he choking me out, and you know, I'm sitting there scratching him, trying to get on trying to scratch on his arm and all types of shit, and you know, I damn near lost consciousness, bro, until like the very last second. Like I felt my eyes closing and they let go, and I'm just in like, type shit, like, bro. I ain't never been through that shit in my life, bro. But you know, I had like 2 other TOHs. One of them, a nigga had poked me up in my leg and all types of shit. I had a fucking he had stabbed me in my fucking ass cheek too and shit. I couldn't even sit right and all types of shit and whatnot. 3 TOHs, all that, man, shit. Shit was real, bro.
Now, when you get in the beat on and you decide that you're gonna rock more or less with the Chicos, did they have a name, or you know, like how X-Men and then Arnett's, like were you under a specific banner, or were you just rocking with any Hispanics?
Basically, you know, the whole La Familia shit. You know, Gracias was with us, Kings were with us. You know, basically any like Hispanic organization and whatnot, we just came together type shit. And basically that's what I was rocking with. And a lot of people that was La Familia or rocking with Kings, more to say, was my home team. You know, a lot of their ass was from Orlando, from Orange County, Polk County, Central Florida type shit, you feel me? So a lot of them was home team anyway.
Now, was there any issue with you, you know, rocking with the Hispanics and, you know, originally rocking with home team, or did they just embrace you first quarter and everything was good?
Yeah, like I was saying, you know, my brothers was been trying to get me down when I was in CFRC type shit, and especially in orientation, like they really got on my chest about it. Like, hey man, you know, rock with us and everything. You know, it's all love. You know, you Dominican, why not? People don't know shit. You feel me? Domi gang, you feel me? Dominicano, tu sabes. Yeah, so Ben was trying to get me to rock with him and whatnot. When I got to B-Dorm, it was basically the same love or whatnot, but you know, a nigga still had to get a TOH. A nigga still had a grid or something or whatnot. Regardless of whatever was going around at that time or whatnot, a nigga still had to get in the grid. So when I went there, I had ended up fighting some nigga from Pensacola. I think he was Neutron, whoever the fuck may be, but we had got in the grid because at the time, cause like I said, shit was hot. So niggas couldn't even grid like how they wanted to. We had the grid coming from child hall type shit, like before the CO coming in the door, anything like that, everybody rushing the dorm and say, hey, y'all just tie up. So I get in the grid with the nigga, nigga had a little size on him type shit. So, you know, I couldn't really do too much. So we ended up grading and whatnot, but we couldn't fight too long because everybody came in and then eventually the crackers came in. So, you know, that was that type shit. But like my first day in there, I was in B1, by the way. In B1, they was testing the nigga type shit, trying to see what type of time I'm on, where my heart at. So I'm talking to one of my brothers, and all of a sudden I feel a big boom on my head, like our vision kind of went blurry for a second. And I look back, I'm like, what the fuck? And nigga had hit me with a soap in the sock. And I'm looking at bro, I'm finna crash him. And he's like, oh, bro, chill, don't crash me, man. Cause at that time, I don't know what it is, but niggas scared to get crashed. Like, they will do everything in the world, but as soon as a nigga said, oh, I'm gonna crash you, like, oh, bro, don't chill, man, don't crash me, man. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. So I'm finna crash the nigga, and he get all spooked and whatnot. And, you know, the head at the time, he told me don't crash and whatnot, but, you know, whenever you get the chance to tell the nigga tighten up. So, nigga had me with that fucking soap in the sock. Really, the violence, I kind of really conditioned myself to it. And, you know, not for nothing, you know, a nigga been off the court. So even before I went up the road, you know, a nigga still had to deal with the violence and all that shit from niggas out here on the streets and whatnot. Yeah. So, you know, violence really been nothing new to me. And just the shit I went through growing up as a child and shit, you know, my people was abusive and whatnot. Now as far as like, you know, I don't know, crazy shit, but, you know, my daddy knocked me upside the head a couple of times, and just violence period ain't nothing new to me. So, you know, but to the extent of that violence, it didn't really hit me until it was wartime, to where we just chilling, and then all of a sudden niggas firing up with a fucking lock, and everybody jumping over bumps and trying to fire niggas up, all types of crazy shit and everything, and niggas slinging soap and socks, and niggas gritting over here in that corner, and niggas over there in corner, and then as soon as the crackers come,
acting like nothing happened.
Bro, I'm trying to tell you. But yeah, shit definitely got real. I remember one time, we wasn't even at war, but I'm sitting on my bunk, and this blood nigga, I guess he had did some creep shit. I guess he was fucking with a Zoe, or he did some business with a Zoe. I don't know, some, you know, pussy ass shit, jit shit. And it was this nigga, Polo. You know Polo?
I don't think so.
Polo, I think he was either a 7 or a blood. I don't know, because, you know, them two are 57.
Yeah, 57 love.
So, and at the time, they ran the dorm. That was B house, 7 house. That was they shit. Anybody that came in that bitch, flip. X-Men, flip. Cutthroat, flip. Anybody that was getting flipped, that was a 57, your ass was dead. Type shit. Shit, actually, the same nigga that I was fucking with, man, about 10 of their ass flipped them when he was coming in the door from after Child Hall. Because remember, we couldn't really do shit until we came after Child. So we coming in Child, they start taking off of his ass. Wow, wow. Just stomping them and everything like that. And I see about like 10 of their ass just going ham on this nigga. I'm like, probably at that moment, I knew like, okay, this violence, this shit on a whole nother level. I was 10 niggas flipping nigga, bro. You feel me? So, you know, when wartime, that's what, like, when shit really hit me type shit. When I was there, there was like 2 wars I was there before they ended up shipping me to the adult side. Because at the time, right before they ended up closing down the castle, anybody that got fired up, adult side. You fire somebody up, adult side. Anything, it was snatching niggas wide open. They got tired of it. So I say the first time we went to war, the head at my time, King Bordy, I don't know, tall nigga from Orlando or whatnot. He like kind of like my skin color. He looked like a nigga, but he Chico. Bordy at the time was talking with the head of the 7s type shit. He was like, hey man, what's up with your people? You know, man, shit, you know, it is what it is. He was like, all right, say no more. So once the nigga say no more, bro, you know what time it is. So, you know, at nighttime, one of the 7s had fired up my brothers. He was coming from the bathroom, and nigga just took off on him. He was like, wow, hit him with the lock in the sock. And nobody ain't really noticed until like at the last minute, like, did this nigga just, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, you know what time it is. So first chance we got, we took flight. Everybody crashing in the dorm or whatnot, jumping over bumps, all types of crazy shit, you know, shit like that. But, you know, like I said, because of everything that had happened, because after the nigga had died, we could only crash out whenever we got the chance to. And on top of that, the person that was there on the shift wasn't going for it. Cause you know, some COs don't give a fuck, but some COs, niggas like them, you ain't doing nothing on their shifts. They dare you to do something on their shift.
Yeah, they're gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, so you know, that was a shift that we really couldn't do nothing, but you know, niggas still had to crash out. The next day we go into the child hall and whatnot. Not even before we get to the child hall, somebody fire somebody, we in line and somebody get cut up in the face and everything. Everybody get the fuck down! Get the fuck down! But we just laying on the ground looking crazy and shit, with fucking face in the ground, all type of shit. Then we get to the corner before we get to the door. Somebody crash out again. Everybody get the fuck down! Get the fuck down! And everything, like just the whole day, everybody got to get the fuck down, stay in their bunks, get up and start crashing somebody, looking for the first nigga you can crash or whatever the fuck may be. We get in the child hall and whatnot, and our plan already was to crash the head of the 7 at the time, because the nigga that had called the war, a nigga named Los from Tampa, from your home team and whatnot. Short little stocky nigga. He was short as hell, but that nigga got in that grade and knew what he was doing, bro. So he ended up getting shipped because he had a weapon in his property or some shit like that. So it had nothing to do with grading or fighting. He just on a humbug type shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
So he got out. So the next nigga in command, nigga named Zay, dark skinned nigga from Tampa too. He was a 7 too. Our plan was to take this nigga out. So we in the child hall and whatnot, and as soon as we finna leave to go back to our dorm, we turn around and we just start stomping this nigga out type shit, and like taking off on the nigga, all types of shit. And we ended up starting a ride in the child hall and everything. So you know, everybody, trays flying, food flying, and everything. I was over here trying to fight this 7 nigga who I ended up seeing on the adult side, but I'm gonna tell you later about that. We crashing in the child hall and whatnot, you know. Soon as crackers coming there, everybody get the fuck down, and they trying to identify everybody, and they took all my brothers out, all the Chicos, they arrested them, sent them to the box. But they ain't take me at first because they ain't know I was Hispanic. So they thinking I'm like a neutron or 7 or blood or some shit like that. So they taking me to the dorm, and the only thing I'm thinking about is I got to crash out or something, because
you gonna be the only one in there.
Yeah, and that's they dorm. So you know, ain't no love for me. I'm getting flipped first quarter every day type shit. So we go back to the dorm and everything, and I'm just sitting on my bunk, just anticipating the shit what's gonna happen, bro. And Blackhawk ended up coming in the dorm and said, "Hey, him right there, what's your name?" And they call me this down the third. What are you? Are you Hispanic? And one, I told him, yeah, I'm Dominican, or whatever the case may be. And so, hey, you got to go to the box and shit. Put your hand behind your back. We'll do this down the third. So I ended up going to the box, and like I told you the other day when I was writing you and shit, when it was I forgot where we was at. I don't know if he was in the front and or the office that they take you to before they sentence you, because you know that whole DR shit, they got that shit like court. You gotta fight this
in the barber shop inside of Eldorm.
Yeah. They took us over there and whatnot, and you know, I had seen Panama, nigga I told you about. I guess he did some fuck nigga shit, whatever the case may be. But you know, nigga was giving me props and all types of shit. Like, hey man, you know, I'm glad you had that down. You ain't no, you know, pussy out or whatever the case may be. You know, nigga had it down. So that was the first time that we had crashed out. Ended up being in the box for like 30 days type shit. I still try to fight it on the DR squad, but you know how that shit goes. It's you against them. Yeah. So I ended up sitting there for like 30 days, and I got out. Shit was sweet for like 2 weeks and everything. Niggas had a truce and all that dumbass shit. And they was actually letting niggas on the yard. See, that's the thing about JIT camp, man. We don't get to go on the yard. We barely get to hit canteen. Visits half the time be fucked up because we be at war all the time and everything. It literally be nothing to do but fight and just beef all the time.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, they was letting us out in the yard hitting canteen faithfully. Shit was sweet. They was giving niggas little leeway. Y'all work with us, we gonna work with you type shit. But that ain't last long. We ended up going to war about some pussy ass shit. A lot of things niggas don't know too is them crackers be starting the wars. They'll get in like the head's ears, say, "Oh man, we heard Zoes this, that, and the third, whoop whoop." So putting little seeds in their ear. So niggas jits, they jit minded, so they gonna go off what the niggas say. So, "Oh man, we heard them pussy ass seven or them pussy ass motherfucking cutthroats talk crazy, man. We gonna take fire on their ass, bro." You feel me? Like shit like that.
Yeah.
So we ended up going to war with their ass too. At that time, I had Coke Boy in the dorm and a couple other Chicos. Aside from the ones that had ended up probably getting shipped because of the last war that we had or whatever the case may be. He was in the dorm. So we was finna take flight, but it was in the middle of movement. So it was like during the day movement before we ended up going to lunch, child time.
Okay.
And before they had left, because I was a houseman at the time, I was in school or either houseman, and I was in the dorm at that time. They had gave me some fire. They had gave me like a big ass metal stick and whatnot. They told me to hold that down before we come back. They said basically don't take flight. Do what you can to hold off until they come, but tell me don't take flight until we get there. And before they get there, they had us on restriction on staying in the bunks. Like y'all can't get off the bunks or nothing like that. Cause like I said, they was real on our ass about certain shit, and they already knew what time it was. They knew it was wartime, so they was trying to prepare before anything. So we was on bunk restriction, and I was sitting on somebody else's bunk, and I was trying to move to mine, but at the same time, not make it obvious like I got this fire that I hit in my leg type shit. So I go in the bunk, and I guess they kind of peep someone right. So they come up to me asking questions. They try to do the typical finesse shit. It was a nigga that was home team, but he was 7. He came up to me, "Hey man, what's up, home team? How you doing, man? You doing straight? You doing cool?" "Oh yeah, whoop, whoop." That little finesse game niggas try to do and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then another 7 came and said, "Hey man, what's up, bro? What you got in your leg there, man? You got some fire on you? What the fuck?" And like, "Nah, man, fuck you," type shit. And they start trying to reach for me and like grab to see what I got in here. They wasn't really trying to fight or fire me up type shit because they was trying to play it smooth or whatever the case may be. And I'm trying to make sure they don't get the thing. And next thing you know, I feel this blow on my face. Like my vision went blurry for a little bit. Like I ain't know what the fuck happened. I'm like my vision kind of blurry and shit. And I ended up getting up and I had like blood all over my face and like my eye was fucked up again and all this shit. And I had like a lump on this thing. I don't know if he took off on me a couple times or whatever the case may be, but I think the nigga fired me up. But like I said, he hit me and I ain't know what the fuck came at me, but I ain't from Latin. And I ended up going to the box for that. And before I had left, that's when they came. Everybody from movement had came in the dorm and whatnot. And, they had seen that, that nigga was fucked up, face all bleeding and everything. I had blood on my thermal and everything like that. And, they fucked me up good, bro. I ain't for a lie to you. Matter of fact, I still got the scar on my fucking eye. I don't know if you see that bit, but
it's split open.
Yeah, they split my ass open, bro. You feel me? So after that, though, that's when I ended up getting shipped to the adult side. Because, like I said, anybody do anything, you getting your YO snatched.
And which adult prison did you get sent to?
I ended up going back to Lake Butler. I guess that's the transfer from like in Central Florida, wherever you're going somewhere up north. Because Lancaster up north, it's up north prison. Mm-hmm. So coming from CFRC, I had to go there. But coming from Lancaster, I ended up being at Lake Butler for like it felt like a month, nigga, but it had to been like 2 weeks because you only sit there for like a couple of weeks before you go to the other prison you're supposed to be going to. So I was in Lake Butler for a couple of weeks. I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of a little nervous and whatnot because, you know, the only thing I'm thinking, man, these adult niggas on this punk shit, they don't trying to take a nigga ass and all types of faggot ass shit. That's all the nigga was worried about. And, you know, they really killing shit. You know, JIT can't, the most they gonna do, they gonna beat you to an inch of your life type shit. But they not really trying to catch no bodies other than, you know, that time with the TOH and I guess it was a couple other times throughout the years niggas had died, but you know, for the most part, they just send you to the hospital, broken bones, everything, but they ain't trying to kill you.
Yeah.
Adult side, they don't give a fuck. Them niggas got jersey number 25, 30, 40, 50. Give a fuck about you, nigga. You know, kill you. You feel me? So that's the only thing. But you know, on my adult side, you know, I ain't had to worry about a nigga graded until I got to DeSoto. Remember I had told you about the 7 I had crashed in the child hall that I ended up going to the adult side with.
Yeah.
What ended up happening was when I went to DeSoto, they got an orientation there too. And over there the orientation was called M-Dorm too. That's the crazy thing. They had you there for a couple weeks. M-Dorm used to be the JIT dorm. Cause you know, some adult camps, they got dorms on the side for the JITs. And they had me in there for a little bit. So the nigga that I had crashed at the castle was already there. Him and I guess a couple other home team or, you know, niggas he was rocking with, you know, try to put down on me too. Talking about some, oh, you know, ain't no pressure or whatnot, but you know, you niggas still gotta catch the grid or whoop the whoop, basically trying to finesse or whatever the fuck. And, you know, basically telling me, hey, look, bro, you know, you just break a nigga off, you know, a little here and there, you ain't gotta worry about it, you know, man. Think about your people, bro, you know, they gonna be worried about you, you know, you don't wanna hurt them, bro. So, you know, just give me a little here and there and whoop and that there. I'm like, you know, that sound good, but I'm not giving y'all shit. So y'all wanna fight, y'all wanna grab, come on. That sound good, that sound wonderful, but I'm not giving y'all shit. So it was like, all right then, so you know, you got tightened up when lunch come, whoop that third. So, you know, I ended up fighting one of his dogs, but that's the funny thing. I ain't fight him though. He won a grade type shit. Like almost as if like he knew what time it was. He was on his getting money shit and, you know, wasn't really trying to grade. So I ended up grading his little homeboy first. It went not. We was in the bathroom. We had, you know, did our thing. So we fought for like maybe 30 seconds, and then his other homeboy who's from the line up with him too, you know, JIT can't shit, lined up. But one of the adults there, I guess he from down south, he was like, hey man, y'all ain't finna do this shit here. Whatever y'all had going on at JIT camp, leave that JIT shit alone. But y'all adults now, you ain't fucking with grown ass men. We ain't on that pussy ass shit. You feel me? So, and they seen how they was trying to gang up on the nigga and whatnot. So, you know, bro was finna take the fade from me, just off my face. But they ended up just leaving that shit alone. They ended up grinning, but that was the only time I had to fight on the adult side. After that, you know, nigga just did his time, got tatted up, got my weight up and everything, you know, went to canteen every other day, hit the yard every other day, you know, just hanging out, doing my time and shit.
And how long was it until you got released?
Okay. I went to CFRC September of 2014. I was on the JIT side from September all the way to March or February of 2015. So from February or March to when our EOS was September of 2015. So that was probably maybe like a good 6 months, about half and half. Half my time I did JIT side, half of my time I did adult side.
Do you feel that being able to experience both the JIT camps and the adult prisons, you were able to learn anything? Because I know a lot of people that do all of their time in the YOs and get out, and they're just as fucking wild, and then they go right back. Do you think that you were able to get any maturity out of it or life lessons?
Definitely, I could say. Prison as a whole, like, really taught me a lot. You know, it was an experience I'll never forget. Never. Just prison as a whole. But definitely when I went to the adult side, I really got my mind right on some grown man shit. Because, you know, not for nothing, JIT side, you ain't gonna learn nothing but be immature and be JIT minded. Yeah. You feel me? You know, on the JIT side, all we doing is rocking out all day, every day. We ain't really getting no money or this, that, and third. At least when I was there. Like I said, shit was hot after JIT had died. So when I was there, niggas weren't really getting money like that. They was selling their little sacks and they got their little bombs, but, you know, they wasn't really doing nothing with it. You know, you can only do so much. On the adult side, you know, like I said, niggas got time, so, you know, we got more privileges. So niggas on the getting money shit. If a nigga finna die or get fired up, it's strictly about business or respect, none else. You feel me? So, but on the adult side, you know, I got to talk to a lot of niggas that been down since before I was even born, bitch. I was born in 93. Niggas been in there since 83, 73 type shit. Niggas that really been in there, like, damn near the whole life type shit. You know, a lot of them put me up on game and whatnot, told me about life. You know, basically, you know, appreciate what we got. Because a lot of times when we be out here in the free world, we forget the things of value to us. You know, we take it for granted and we take our time for granted. It's something I learned. The greatest gift you could give to somebody is time. Because once it's there, you don't get it again. You only get a certain amount of time. So giving somebody your time or just time in general is something that you gotta take for granted, because once it's gone, it's gone. So the time that you have in the free world, use it to while you can. Because just like I said, we don't got time. Ain't no telling when your last day gonna be. Yeah. Nigga could die right now, God forbid. And that's the end of the story, nigga. And everything you did up to now was for what? You feel me? So, you know, one thing being on the adult side taught me about appreciating time and appreciating people around you, the good people in your life. You know, not for nothing, the niggas always talking about, oh man, my bitch ain't riding for me, my hoe ain't doing this, that, and the third, whoop de whoop for me. But like, we got also remember when we was out there, we ain't give a fuck about them. Yeah. We ain't giving them time of day. You know, a lot of us be having hoes that actually gave a fuck about us, but, you know, a lot of time niggas out there hanging out, just fucking everything, you know, turned up. You know, you beefing with niggas from another hood or whatever case may be, you rocking out with another organization, you know, shit like that. We take for people granted, you know, our mamas, our daddies, aunts, uncles, anything like that, family members, you know, we don't really spend time with them. We don't really get in their chest to them how much we love them, how much we appreciate them until the nigga get locked up. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, being on the adult side, it taught me a lot, and just, you know, carrying myself as a man, you know, just taking responsibilities as a man. You know, we in life, we just can't have a cake and eat it too. It ain't no way around it, bro. You can't get what you want and then expect not to have to deal with the consequences that come with it. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, handle your shit as a man, you know, stay solid no matter what. That's another thing. If anything, I say Jit Camp taught me that. Stand up on your own 2 feet as a man, bro. Because no matter what come in life, bro, you gotta keep it solid, bro. You gotta stand on all 10 toes, bro. Because life gonna beat you to you motherfucking don't want to live no more, bro. But one thing I can say Jit Camp taught me was, you know, hold faith, keep faith. You know, just stand on your own 2 feet, bro. You feel me? But the dark side really taught me how to be a man. Cause you know, I ain't really had no daddy or father figure around when I was out to really teach me how to be a man and, you know, care myself as a man, take responsibilities as a man, take care of your family as a man, you know, shit like that. So, you know, I appreciate them OGs on the dark side that really got on my chest about shit. You know, Jit, when you get out there, man, don't fuck off, man. Use your time wisely while you can, cause like I was telling you, you know, once that time is gone, you ain't getting that shit back. You feel me? So.
And how has it been for you, you know, being free?
I ain't gonna lie. When I first had EOS from prison and whatnot, I was doing good for like a good year or so. I had moved out of state with my auntie them. You know, I was working at McDonald's and shit, you know, basically getting my money up. If I could kind of say I wasn't spending my money wisely because the whole prison shit going to court, movies not the third, I had court fees. And what they ended up doing was put a hold on my license. So in order to get my license, I had to make payments. And, you know, I had a job and I could have made all those payments and got my shit straight, but I was spending money on clothes, spending money on pussy ass shit, being irresponsible and whatnot. So it kind of hold my chances back on that. But, you know, I was doing good and my auntie had ended up kicking me out type shit. You still love, you know, that's my auntie, you know, she did what she felt she had to do as far as her household. Yeah. You feel me? You know, I wasn't really respecting her household, you know, I was to clean up after myself like I should be, just little small shit. It's small, but if you don't nip it in the bud, it's gonna become big. So before it got big, she just told me, hey, you gotta go type shit. So I had to leave. I was staying with my abuela. May she rest in peace, she dead now. I was staying with her for a little bit. That ain't last too long, cause you know, God may rest her soul. You know, she was real religious, and you know, one thing about Spanish families, they either too strict or they don't give a fuck at all. Ain't no in between. So you know, my abuela, she was real strict and whatnot, and you know, she always thought a nigga was smoking or doing drugs or some crazy. Just saw my mama face, cause my mama she been on dope before I was even born type shit. She always been on drugs type shit. So she kind of put that judgment on me. You know, if I'm smoking a black, she think I'm smoking weed or doing crack or doing drugs. If I'm smoking anything or doing anything, being out too late, oh, you doing this and what in the world. So before I even gave her the time of day, I just took my ass back to Florida. And when I came to Florida, nigga, I was on the streets. I was homeless. So I had to do anything I could to get that money up, bro. Taking niggas up through there, robbing, home invasions, stolos, anything I could do, getting my feet, bro. You feel me? And I ended up catching a GTA. I had ended up getting out on bond for that. And, you know, I was chilling out in Sanford for a little piece with a little bitch I was fucking, crazy asshole. We ended up falling out. Pussy asshole, she tried to stab me. Bitch tried to kill herself. All types of crazy ass shit. The whole went psych on the nigga, dog. I don't know man, I don't know if she was fucked up by the dick or I don't know, but the whole went psych on me. So a nigga had to leave type shit. So, you know, a nigga was homeless again. So, yeah, I ended up picking up a pack My dog had looked out for me, you know, whoop de whoop, you know, getting a couple packs off. And I was still out on bond for that GTA. So one time I'm in the bando, and you know, a nigga tired, nigga, man, fuck this shit. I'm finna lay my ass down today. I've been up on the streets, up all night, sleeping on the stairs, all types of crazy shit, man. And I'm trying to break into the bando. I had just finished bagging up a little pack I had. I had got off one and I just bagged up a new one. And I'm in the bando trying to break in. And I guess somebody had seen me while I was trying to break in. But when I finally got in, I'm finna fire up this little weed I had from the shit I just bagged up. And I'm looking out the window and I see the crackers coming into my apartments, coming into my hood and shit. And so off rip, I'm trying to think, oh fuck, let me get out. But the thing about the bando I was in, they was getting it ready to rent out. So they had tore everything down. You could see through the whole apartment, like from front to back, like nothing. So there's really so many places I could hide inside the bando. So I'm trying to creep around and whatnot, and I see the cracker to the front of the apartment. And he looked through the window. I'm trying to duck down again. So I'm thinking, damn, I got to get out the back. And I'm trying to get out to the back, but the cracker that was in front of the complex, he had pulled up more to where the apartment was, so he could see the back perfectly. So I'm thinking, damn, what the fuck I'm gonna do? So they start surrounding the place, and they had the dog out and whatnot. They telling me, oh, come out. I'm still crouched down, and one of the pussy ass cracker, they had seen me. He said, oh, I see him. He wearing a black shirt, black pants, black male, everything. He's crouched down. He wearing white shoes. And, you know, they got me. So they tell me to come out now. We're going to let the dog come in there and all types of shit. Man, all right, man, y'all crackers got that. So I'm walking out. Get the fuck on the ground, hands behind your back. I'm laying on the ground, dirty, all types of shit. And they ended up snatching me up. Glory to God again, bro. They ended up giving me probation, bro. I don't know what it is. Nothing but God, bro. But they ended up giving me probation and whatnot. Even though they asked me about where I got the weed from and everything, I told them I don't know. I got it from my dog. Who's the dog? I don't know. Type shit. And they ended up giving me 3 years probation on top of the Grand Theft Auto that I had. They had charged me with possession, paraphernalia, intent to sell, and everything because I had my bag with me. I had my bag inside my clothes and everything because, like I said, I was homeless. So I had everything in the bag, my scale, the baggies. I was caught with my hand in the cookie jar, nigga. And glory to God, they spared me because I was already out on bond for the GTA. But before I got locked up, they was offering me the 3 years probation for that GTA. So when I got locked up, the offer was still on the table. I took that shit.
And how you doing right now? Because you know we can see you in a house, an apartment right now. So how's everything for you right now after everything that you've been through?
See, even after that, bro, I got out. Nigga was still homeless, bro. I was on probation, homeless. So that ain't last long. I ended up violating, but I ended up going back to county. But this time I had to sit in county for like 6 months. Mm-hmm. You feel me? But after that, you know, I ended up staying with Funny. She was homegirl of the girl I was fucking with in Sanford. They knew each other. I met the girl I was fucking with in Sanford because of her type shit. So she had got her own crib in Sanford, and she was letting me stay out there for a little bit. So, you know, a nigga was good, you know. I was staying out there in Sanford for a little piece up until now and whatnot. I'm staying over here in the hood in North Kissimmee and shit. And you know, the person I'm with now, you know, she real cool people and whatnot. I'm cool with her mama, cool with people them and all that shit. They really fucked up by the nigga. You know, they really want to see a nigga get on his feet and really, really get there. So as far as right now, I'm doing a lot better than then. You know, in a moment it could go back to that. You know, I ain't gonna say that, but you know, I got my faith in God, bro. I just came to a moment in my life where, here, take the wheel. Say, you can have it, bro. Take the wheel. Nigga can't do this shit no more, baby. You feel me? So, you know, nigga really just on some getting a job, saving every dollar. That's another thing. I'm trying to save every dollar I can, bro. I ain't trying to splurge. I ain't trying to do nothing. No more L's, nigga. I don't even file up L's no more, nigga. That's how I really did, bro. You feel me?
Well, hey, that's good, you know, because just like prison, you know, we go through so many stages. It's the same thing when we get out, you know, getting everything back in order. It's a process. It's not just something that's gonna happen overnight. But you know, you got a wild story, bro. I appreciate you coming on. And if you have any social media, anything you want to shout out, or anybody you want to shout out, you can go ahead and do that right now.
First and foremost, you know, just on my dog face. You know, shout out 1090 Jake and everything. I like what you're doing there because you're really bringing out the side of DOC that nobody know about, especially JIT side. Like, not for nothing, adult side crazy, but that JIT camp shit, that shit traumatizing, bro. Yeah. I don't give a fuck what a nigga hollering about. That shit fucking nigga head up. You feel me? So, you know, I appreciate what you're doing. Shout out to you. Shout out to my dog's page. You know, High Risk Music ain't really out there yet, but you know, he working on it. So don't count the nigga out. You know, shout out to all my dogs, all the jits up there right now. Everybody doing time, man. Just, you know, hold that shit down, man. You know, it's time, but you know, you're gonna get out. Some niggas don't, but if you got an EOS date, just hold that shit down. You getting out, bro.
Definitely. Well, hey, like I said, I appreciate you coming on. Stay out, stay free, and stay safe, bro.
Same to you, bro.